See?
Yeah.
It's rolling. Okay, here we go. Stand by, please. 3, 2, 1. And
It's a great color.
Well, Kim, I have been keeping up with your films, but actually the only other time that we met and talked eyeball to eyeball, as they say, was The Man Who Loved Women.
And thank goodness somebody saw that film. I mean, I know it didn't do box office very well, but I've said this before that was really my critically acclaimed little film that really started me off in comedy. I have to thank Blake Edwards for that because he gave me my first chance to do comedy.
Yes. And now you're doing comedy again for Robert Benton in Nadine. Now, this was shot mostly in Austin, wasn't it?
Right.
Yes. Was it your first time to be in Texas?
No, but it was my first time in Austin. Actually, The Man Who Loved Women, we shot a piece of that in Houston. So that was my first time as far as filming anything in Texas. But that was Houston, yes, and that was another Texas character, Louise. So Austin, it was the first time that I was here for a good 4.5 months. I loved it. I love Texas.
Your accent is so good, and that is the thing that I think anytime you try to do the accent of a region and then you have to come into the region and everybody says, well...
Oh, right.
You know, but your accent is wonderful.
Thank
it's
you.
right on the money. Now, how did you achieve that?
I don't know. You know, I'm a musician, and I've always felt this. I love music. Music is my very first love, and I think I have an ear for picking up things. I love accents anyway, I really do. The English accent, the French accent, and I'll use those later on in other films. But I love the Texas accent for one reason. It's twangy, and I don't mean that as a cut. I mean that as a musical term. I really do, and it just has a twang to it where, then I'll go home to Georgia and I'll hear the Georgia accent it's softer and it's longer, and I have a sister who can make a 2-syllable word a 12-syllable word. So, when I come back to California where I live or go to New York, believe you me, for a week and a half I have a terrible time. Terrible, because I make everything 12 syllables no matter how many syllables there are in the word.
And then Jeff's accent also is very good.
Well, Jeff, I've said this about Jeff, and Jeff can fit into anything. He can just do anything. And on another thing, Jeff's a good musician, really good musician. So I really do think that has something to do with having a good ear for music. I think you have a good ear for picking up the sound, just of people's voices and what to use, and the lip movement and so forth.
The film No Mercy, of course, you were a Cajun and you had to have that sort of accent or suggest that sort of thing, which is entirely different from the Texas accent.
Right.
And then in Blind Date, you had to be accent free. I mean, you weren't supposed to have any accent, were you, in Blind Date?
No. I mean, I don't remember where she was supposed to be from. I think she was supposed to be from New Orleans or something, but not New Orleans, like New Orleans. She just, I think she lived all over. I think she was a Navy brat or an Army brat. Let's just keep her at that. She lived all over. She was non-regional. I don't know where that girl was from.
Whose idea was it to have you a brunette in that movie?
I will totally take full blame for that one. It was my idea. I tell you what happens with people after a while. You become bored with what you look like, and especially if you're an actress, we love to dress up. So I always wanted to be Maria in West Side Story, and nobody would hire me because of the way I looked. So I said, okay, if they won't do it, well, I'm just going to do it myself. So I really would love to have worn contact lenses, but I did not have enough time to get the brown contact lenses or whatever. And thank goodness, because actually it ended up being just disastrous. I mean, I had a rinse put on my hair in New York, and the rinse was supposed to last for 3 months. But every morning when I would get in the shower, the first time I discovered this was just I couldn't believe it. I mean, I looked down the shower and there was brown stuff coming out of everything, and all of a sudden I said, now I know I'm not this dirty and these pipes aren't this rusted. So my God, it couldn't be, my hair was unbelievable. And I got out of the tub and I looked in the mirror and I was actually a redhead. I mean, it was just redhead with polka dots in the back. I mean, it was just horrible. And actually, I met Benton for the first time with his hair like this. So the hair was that. And then, believe it or not, when I finished Blind Date, I went and did all of Nadine, back to my own hair, everything else, and was called back to do 2 weeks, 3 weeks of blind date again. And we had to have wigs made in New York. And you know what I discovered? I could just kill myself for this. I should have done it with the wigs the whole time, not done anything to my hair, because the wigs actually looked better. They did. I mean, the bangs would, you know, I can't wear bangs because I got to have a widow's peak, so, you know, I've always wanted bangs, you know, so, you know, what you don't have, you usually want, you know, you want to try out, you know. So anyway, it was all my fault, all my idea, whether you liked it or not or whatever.
Well, the thing that struck me was that you were on screen for at least a minute and a half, and I'm saying, that's Kim's character. No, that's not Kim. No, that's not Kim.
Yeah, that's
no,
a lot of
who
people.
is that? And I was, you were just baffled for at least a minute and a half.
Well, in a way, maybe I'm glad. I'm not sure. I don't know how I feel about that movie. I mean, I'm not sorry I did it. I love Blake. I worked with Blake, and Bruce was fine. It was fine. You know, so I did it. So I got to be Maria, so what? So that's that. Maybe I'll really get to do her one day.
Tell me how much you like or don't like, or how you feel about Nadine.
Oh, I love Nadine. I mean, I really love Nadine. Nadine as, you mean just the movie itself? Or
Your
the
character and the film.
Well, I'm sort of bashful about the film, and I don't mean that humbly. I mean, I really don't like to look at myself on the screen, so it's tough for me to watch any performance I do. I don't care. But as far as just working on the film, it was the loveliest experience I've ever had from beginning to end. It was the nicest experience I have ever had on a film. And that being because of Benton, Robert Benton, and Arlene Donovan, the producer, and just a great crew around us. And I really have to say, too, that Benton is a writer. I've never been presented with a script that was really so well written, that really had a beginning and a middle and an ending, and you could just, I mean, the words just rolled off my tongue. I mean, I was spoiled. What can I say? And Nadine, as far as the character is concerned, I just love her spirit. I just love her because she's ahead of her time and she's naive. And the thing about that is she's naive to the fact that she is so far ahead of her time, and to other people, they're just so amazed by her, and yet she doesn't know it. She does it and doesn't know it. So it's a lovely quality. She loves people. She's not there's no deceit in her.
Well, she's a lot of fun. You make her a lot of fun to watch. And
Thank
I've
you.
enjoyed having this chance to talk with you again, Kim.
Thank you. very much.
Congratulations on a fine performance.
Thank
Really
you.
good.
We'll do it next time. The next film, okay?
Thanks. You're fun to talk. Right.
3, 2, 1, we have speed.
Kim, how did you achieve your Texas accent?
Well, I listened to that commercial about chili. What's the name of it? What's the name?
Okay, that's fine.
Okay.
That's good.
Microphone noise on that question, too.
Oh, sure. Okay. Kim, how did you achieve your Texas accent?
Well, chili.
In No Mercy, you had to have a Cajun accent, which is different yet, isn't it?
Well, quite frankly, I didn't have much of an accent after 2 weeks, and it was a pits of a movie. We knew it.
Okay. All right. In Blind Date, whose idea was it to make you a brunette?
Well, Rick Hobzon ruined me. He is my hairdresser.
Okay. All right. Okay. Do you like the character of Nadine? Okay. What is it you like about the character Nadine?
Well, I have to give it some thought, but I'll come up with an answer tomorrow.
Okay, thank you.